Our first guest is a stand-up comedian who decided the best way to grieve the loss of his larger-than-life Greek mother was to write a cookbook filled with her recipes. We welcome the author of My Greek Mom's Recipes. She died, I wrote this cookbook, Gus Constantellis. Good morning, Gus. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
You bet. I love this story of your mom and how close you were to her. You made her a TikTok star, even though she had no idea really what was going on. But tell us, weren't you originally going to write this cookbook with her?
Yeah, we had a great idea to write this cookbook with her and include all of her recipes. And we kept saying we're going to wait until the grandkids are in school. We're going to wait until the grandkids are in school. But unfortunately, life happened
Yeah.
and we never got to do it together. But I did get to learn a lot of her recipes when she was still alive. And I had a lot of family help to, get all the other ones together.
Sure.
So I did it without her. And it's just basically her legacy in a book. So I'm really happy that I was still able to do it no matter what.
I love it. I love it. And you
Yeah.
talk about how after she had passed, you were grieving her loss. You went to a grocery store to pick up meatballs, and you decided to yourself, no, I need to make them myself the way Mom did.
Yeah, it was 4 days after she died. I had just gotten back home and I went to Trader Joe's because I was so hungry and they didn't have the meatballs that I liked. And so I was like, no, 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 I know how to make my mom's meatballs. So I'm just going to make her meatballs.
Yeah.
And I did. And it was this really healing moment where I made them and I got to grieve her and I got to post it on the internet and grieve with other people who really loved her on the internet as well because she was a TikTok star. And it was just a really healing moment. And then after that, everyone was like, you should just write the cookbook. Why
Yeah.
don't you just do it? And then I did. I started literally 4 days after she died, and I wrote it in the 10 months after she died. And it was, a really healing experience in a lot of ways.
That's so great. She didn't speak
Yeah.
any English, even though she'd been in the States for quite some time.
No, the only thing she knew how to say in English are things that I cannot say in a morning show. So I'm just going to move on from that, I got to tell you.
And she,
But yeah, 40 years in
That's
English,
so
40
funny.
years, no English, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's so
A-
insane. Yeah.
I love, too, that you write about how she kept telling you, when I die, you'll starve.
Every day she would be like, I'm going to teach you this recipe so when I die you're not going to be hungry, because when I die you're all going to starve. You're all going to starve all the time, you and your brothers, your niece, your nephew, everybody. She wasn't wrong, I gotta tell you.
That's funny. Okay, tell us what you're going to make for us today.
I am making zucchini fritters today, which are a very simple recipe. The hardest part about this recipe is saying it in Greek, which is Kolokithokeftedes. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, Kolokithokeftedes.
Okay, it was close.
I was
But we're gonna
close.
try this one more time.
Okay.
Okay, Kolokithokeftedes.
Kolokithokeftedes.
Yes, we did it. That
Yay!
was great.
Woo!
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. So we start with zucchini.
Okay.
I've grated it. I've drained this for about an hour, and I've strained it with a cheesecloth. So we just plop that.
Because getting
into
the
this
moisture out
bowl.
is pretty key to this, right?
Yeah, because you don't want it to just, because you're gonna fry them, so you don't want them to just kind of like in the frying pan. So
Right.
you want them to be nice and held together.
Okay.
I also have here. I've put in one scallion. I've put in an onion. I've put in some mint and parsley because
Oh, wow.
everything Greek is very, very herbaceous. Everything in the whole entire book is very, very herbaceous.
Right.
And so I've added those four things into this food processor. I've mixed them all up. So it's all simple. My mom would not use a food processor. She would do everything by hand. So
Wow.
I know she would do everything by hand. My mom could peel a potato with one hand and a kitchen knife in 8 seconds.
And she wouldn't
It
even
was-
use a peeler, just a kitchen knife?
No, we didn't have a peeler in our house. We didn't have a dishwasher. We didn't have a peeler. We didn't have a food processor. Okay,
Wow.
It was
And
real
I
old school in my house.
I read too
yeah.
she made phyllo dough from scratch, which is crazy.
She would make phyllo dough from scratch by herself, and it would take up the whole kitchen. And she would do it like twice a week. She was like, "Oh, whatever, I'll make phyllo dough. I'll make spanakopita." And
Yeah,
she did it for the kids.
Wow.
And I've included that recipe in this book.
Yes.
It's very hard. I don't do it often. I don't really do it a lot. But if you are feeling very ambitious, just like saying Kolokithokeftedes, you should go and do your phyllo dough, honestly, because it is a wild journey.
Yeah.
It's funny because, Kolokithokeftedes is a very hard word to say, but as a kid, because my mom didn't speak English, I had to translate for her, but I also spoke Greek very well. And so I was always very proud of
Right.
how well I spoke Greek. And anytime we went to Greek restaurants, I would always order the Kolokithokeftedes, and then the waiter or the waitress would always be like, "Wow, this is so impressive. Good for you." And I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, that's me, baby. I'm a pleasure to have in class." And it always brought me a sense of joy. But see, with language and immigration and a lot of immigrants in this country, language is always the first thing to go.
Right.
Food is always the thing we really stay connected to.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
I added 1 egg here, and I'm
Okay.
just crumbling some feta in here as well, just so you know, while I'm
And you
doing
like to
this.
get, I would assume your mom preferred to get the block feta versus the crumbled, already crumbled feta.
Well, we would get feta and olive oil from Greece. We didn't
Yeah,
mess around with
no.
this Trader Joe's stuff here.
Gotcha.
No, 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 no. Okay.
I hear ya.
We would get it. We would have buckets and buckets of olive oil shipped to us from Greece. Anytime a friend of hers would go to Greece, she'd call them up and be like, "You have to bring me back a bucket, okay?"
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, yeah, language is always the first thing to go, but food always makes us feel very connected. And a lot of people that, you know, are second, third generation, like Italian Americans or, you know, Mexican Americans, they really struggle because sometimes they don't know the language and they
Right.
get a lot of flack from their parents and from their grandparents for not knowing the language.
Oh yeah. So
But
you just added breadcrumbs, right?
I did. I added some breadcrumbs and a little bit of flour, actually. So you're going to add the flour directly to this because you don't dredge these. The flour's right in there.
Okay.
You're going to mix everything together. I'm just mixing everything nice and good right now, to make it all nice and solid. And then after I'm done rolling everything here, I'm just going to mix these up into small balls.
Right.
About 16 balls, and then you fry them up. It's really that simple.
And you use it as appetizers and a side dish, either way.
Yeah, this is an appetizer. This is a side dish. You can enjoy these with some tzatziki.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can enjoy these with like a spicy feta dip. They're really good.
What
They're
was
very
your-
healthy, except for the frying. But
Oh,
yeah.
that's great. Okay, we want to tell everyone about your book event that is at Mission Theater on
Ooh,
May
yes.
14th. We're going to put all that information. It's at 8 o'clock at the Mission Theater on Gleason Street in Portland. We're going to put all that information for everyone on our website at k2.com. The book, again, is called My Greek Mom's Recipes. I can't wait to make some of these recipes. I want to make the meatballs that you made, the first thing you made in her honor. I definitely want to make
Oh,
those
please
meatballs.
do.
too. Yeah.
I do have the finished product to show you right
Okay.
here because I am rolling them. But this is the finished product.
Oh, looks great.
Yeah, they're fried up, and you just drizzle them with a ton of lemon because,
Yeah.
as you know, and as you should know, lemon is the cornerstone of Greek cooking.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're the best.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gus.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me. Have a wonderful day.
You too. If Gotti's still. All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.